Hey, it's the Schiller again here, and wanting to give you just a kind of quick overview of the different Fluff World NFT collections. You might be trying to get into them at some point here with the South by Southwest conference. There's a lot of attention starting to come to the ecosystem, and I'm here to help you kind of understand things a little bit better. If you enjoy this content and you're wanting to see more about just general Web3 coverage, I do X feed every single day, Monday through Friday, where we just kind of go over the entire space. Would love to see you there. Check the live tab for this. So with this one, let's go over some of the Futureverse NFTs, but let's start with the trailer so you get a little bit more of an idea of what you're dealing with.
The future is a collective vision that exists within every mind on the planet.
Owned by everyone, the future is the only truly decentralized idea.
If you want to understand nature, you don't think about it, you go outside.
If you want to understand love, you don't think about it. You fall into it.
If you want to understand the metaverse, don't think about it.
You are already there.
The future is everything we'll create together.
Not a place, but possibility.
We call upon you,
The tireless harvester.
the fiercely intelligent,
the curious pioneer,
the bold-hearted,
and the ones willing to fight.
We must protect this new world.
This is the beginning. A new gravity has emerged.
pulling us together into an open metaverse.
Where anything can be connected to anything.
We're not building the future. You are.
So let's start off with Fluff World. Fluff World is a collection of 9,994. Thought it was 10,000. Wow, something happened. And these collectibles are basically your biggest ticket for a base within most of the collection here. Great infographic by Kona Road. There's a lot of info that we're going to unpack, so we'll try to do it a little bit slowly. But one of the big benefits for Fluffs is the fact that their base future score, as you see on this chart, is 33. And you see for almost all the other ones, it's a little bit lower. But obviously, depending on the rarity, there also is this factor into it. So what exactly is Future Score? Well, it's the system that is kind of like a reputation system, if you will, for the Root network, and you get more Future Score from holding on to these assets, and a portion of the Root rewards and supply of the token go out to those who have a future score. And then there's also land mechanics and a little bit more. I do go over some of the white paper in a video that I made a while ago. Might have to do some updates, but that's kind of one of the base models for it. But there is also going to be breeding with them. And it seems that if you are going to look on the market, a lot of people are saying, oh, you know, for the rarer furs, they're going to have more interesting flufflets, is what they're called, for the third kingdom. And so usually when you see kind of bigger purchases, it's based off of the fur. But yeah, the other aspect is apparently these are supercharged with ASM's protocol. So if you don't know what that is, they recently put out a paper that was kind of like the 2.0, highlighting how in-depth this protocol is going to be, from avatars to understanding everything and just really creating the technology within AI and specifically for the metaverse. And so that was a comment that was made a while ago, but we've noticed in some of the games you need to have a body to be able to train one of the ASM brains, which we'll get to in a second. But if you like AI, this might intrigue you. Now, of course, with AI gaming and this kind of metaverse thing and, AI agents, if you will, it's presumed that fluffs are going to be the apex asset regarding that. But the big thing right now is future score for flufflets. And as well, if anybody's in the comments here after you watch this video or as you're scrolling, be sure to give your own little comments in there. Add extra things that I missed here, and let's try to educate, because at the same time, we are going to see more and more updates for what collections are going to be eligible for what, and just kind of other things that we might not fully expect. So the recent thing that we saw is a trailer that highlights Root, and some of the assumptions in the trailer that we just saw, the tireless harvester. Is that a reference to Thingies at the same time that they were showing that they were getting this mushroom or root that it seems like it's hinting at mycelium is potentially the next token within this ecosystem, but they dropped this trailer. The third kingdom. So it looked kind of within there that it was like root, like a diamond of root that is getting harvested. Is this an egg? Is this supposed to highlight mycelium? Is this kind of the big bang that creates the third kingdom? We're kind of in speculation mode for it, but this trailer did just drop yesterday. Now, the second tier collection for Fluff World is the Party Bears. Now, Party Bears also get a future score if we go back here, where it is at 13 all the way up to 52. So some of the rare Party Bears might actually have a bigger base score than some of the Fluffs, but it is the second collection for that. We've heard things about how potentially they are going to be able to be working with the Buzzies, bears and Buzzies. It seems like it's been hinted at one of the comics they launched, and kind of how the world works. Because again, we're seeing these metaverse economies getting created. Are we going to have assets for different things? What's the, on top of the future score that we just talked about, what are some of the extra things with it? But just going off of the description here, Fluff World, the party's here. Party Bears are 9,669 programmably generated 3D rigged bears, bringing fashion, music, and interactivity to your Fluff World experience. So from DJs, we've had party pack discussions way in the back about music coming through these NFTs with Party Bear. And we highlighted yesterday where Snoop Dogg was on a podcast and talked about how for 1 billion streams, he was paid, I think, like less than 45 or around $45,000 for 1 billion streams on Spotify. So I think musicians as a whole are really going to start looking to the Web3 space to be able to kind of take the power back within their means. And so could that be through Party Bears? Potentially. So next up, we have Thingies. These are the world builders, but also future score printer. So the idea is that you want a higher future score, and that's going to allow you to get more root. And there's been discussions where potentially right now it looks like it's about 400 root per future score point that you have. So you can end up doing the math on that, because there's still like 90% of the rewards to go out. And I think that's even excluding some of the land mechanics that we figure involve most of these collections within here. But for Thingies, it's 7.2 future score all the way up to 28 for some rare ones. And when I say future score printer, these things create art. And so you can buy moon rocks with Asto, and you can get these cool kind of different art pieces. And some have thought that there's been alpha hidden within them. Sometimes it seems right, but at the same time, is it Thingy alpha, or is it just a coincidence that something looks similar? Conversations about what's actually in these backpacks, because there are some very rare backpacks, and if these are world builders within a metaverse, is this something that Thingies ended up getting rented out? But apparently a Thingy also helped out with Project Tempest, which is a comic that is done in a Web3 way through subscription of a specific token in Asto, and it's kind of cool, and it's interactive and a little bit more than maybe what you've seen out there. And so a Thingy has already had a job, but now we get to see it within the metaverse. So Burrows, are metaverse lands cool? Are they coming back? What's the dealio? So 10,500 of these. There's a few different types within them. from Aden, Sweet, High Roller, and Snoop Dogg. Each one of these gets a different amount of land plot claims. So if you think, hey, for other side, for the sandbox, there's 100,000, and then I think for sandbox, like 150, maybe a bit more, 1,000 plots for this. It seems like it's going to be just a little bit less. But at the same time, depending on the type that you're wanting to go to, like Studio Snoop apparently has like a DJ studio within that. Is that something you have to pair with a party bear? Is that something that musicians somehow can use? But also for the future score themselves, as we go back to this, we can see that Burrows are 15.5 to 65. So again, it's pretty close up there, top 3 within the Futureverse collections. But if Metaverse land comes back, it sounds like these are going to be creatable dens, and teams talked about how the Third Kingdom is going to be the hero app for the Root Network. So these could get interesting if a lot of people play on those areas. Now, scenes and sounds are just something that comes on the party bears and fluffs, and you'll notice that within some of the scenes, they all look kind of different, and there's going to be a continuous amount of trying to find type here. There we go. Scene. There'll be various types of backgrounds within almost all of the collections, and it's kind of assumed that potentially assets are going to be geo-locked to a certain area within this metaverse. And the other thing is that people are thinking there might be some kind of metaverse land with some of these backgrounds. And so Mystic Valley is something you'll probably see all over the timeline. And this one costs a little bit more. Zigor and Dancing in the Shroomlight. And then they did have some charity events, and from people that were bidding heavy on those, they got like really cool, almost customized scene displays here that are pretty sweet. So eggs. The Electromycelia Genome Generator is an official prototype from Spurkinski Laboratories. So from the eggs, we know that they're apparently a part of breeding. So if you have a male fluff, a female fluff, an egg, and matching backgrounds for both of them, you'll be able to breed. Now, is there tokens involved with that? Is it just needing that pair? Is there a way to rent to other people if you don't have all those pieces? Not really entirely sure. Are eggs going to be doing their own thing? What's the expansion of this? We did see a tweet yesterday where Aaron said they're cooking something special for that. So there is some really rare ones. If you go down, you can see for the Franklin, they're the green eggs, and there's only, well, at least on OpenSea here, there's just a handful listed. But the reason these might be relevant is when you see these rare things, does it enhance, right? If you have a rare male and female fluff, are the flufflets going to be better through a green egg if that's how it works? And again, some of this is still speculation while we're trying to figure it out. Or does it matter and you just need to go to something that has a higher capacity? So you can see how on the bottom left here, there's capacity, energy, speed. What does it kind of mean? And you can see that the price jumps a heck of a lot for these capacities. So is this something that generates the flufflets quicker? Different creatures, avatars? We'll see. Next up are the Buzzies. Meet the Buzzies, a collection of bee companions ready to reclaim their shared seat on the throne as honey harvesting royalty in Fluff World. So these Buzzies are all from different areas. There's, I feel like they look really cool, but the backgrounds seem like they're actually like a part of an adventurous area that's a little bit different than some of the backgrounds of the Fluff. So I'm curious where these characters kind of live. Is it actually all in the same area, or is it different kind of universes overall? I was going to say universities there. But yeah, so there's different lag bags within these. These are supposed to create potential blueprints for things. It sounds like there's maybe a way where it creates like a blueprint and then you need to pair it with a thingy to actually fully create it. Is there more to that? I remember that the first time we heard really kind of what they do, it was on a Uniswap Twitter space before it was X. There was like a handful of people there. I don't know if that is saved anywhere, but if you do want to check out my channel, I do have some of the different speaking sessions from the team that are available to view. But yeah, Buzzies, there is a, I don't know if we go to environment here, can we see the Azura, the Bombus? I thought this was a sweet looking NFT if there was ever one out there. The team's very good at creating some really nifty things. And if you recognize the top here, that scene that we just looked at from the charity, that's kind of the idea with that. But this was a 1 of 1. Now, ASM Aphogenesis, if you're trying to get a brain and characters, these are the boxes for it. If people are wanting to do that, but basically the brains, unique artificial intelligences owned via NFTs. Yesterday, they made these sound like they're nodes. And I'm not sure if it's going to be something where you have to stake or ASTO to it, and then potentially earn off them, if they're just going to be significantly better within the different Futureverse games, what the idea is with them. But there's a whole heck of a lot of them. There is some sites that show you the different IQ of things. I'm not sure if it's all, completely speculation on some of those, or if that's kind of what the official breakdown is, because we have seen some big sales based off of some of the stats, but once we fully see these things operational and working in these different games, I think there's a little bit of guessing right now. But there is Gen 2 brains, so the only way to get these Gen 2 brains is through staking ASTO token. You get ASTO energy, and it costs a certain amount of energy to be able to mint these Gen 2 brains. So there's only like 10,000 of the Gen 1 brains for the people that are going to be coming in and playing. Assuming the ecosystem grows bigger, right now there's 60,000 brains. And yeah, if this is the main source of supply and this gets popular, it'll be interesting to see how the Gen 2 brains do. Now, ASM AFA Allstars, 40,000 football characters, fast, fun, fully 3D rigged, all unique and all stars. So I want to go back to the Gen 1 brain for half a second, because with these All-Stars, we know that it's also a body for the brain. So for the future score reference, Gen 1 brains, 24 for all. Completely even, still really good. But when you go down and you go to the AFA, you can see it's much, much smaller at 3 to 12. But with the different games that are coming up from Racers, and AI League doesn't have the implementation of these avatars yet. It's kind of a separate thing. I'm still connected to Futureverse, but it sounds like for Racers, you're actually going to need these All-Stars to pair with a car and a brain. And so if you're trying to experience all of that, then you might be interested in an All-Star. But again, it's a lower future score, but it does also sound like there might be an ASTO drop to come with it, but we don't know when that is. Now, Adom Car Club, if you love cars, well, this just might be for you. These membership keys probably already have their car claimed. If you're interested in already picking up a car from Adom, you're going to have to wait until the marketplace gets updated. But with that said, there's a whole bunch of different cards here, and we're waiting to see, is it going to be a game? Is it going to be different garages that we have? Are we going to be able to rent out these cars? How does the Metaverse automobile landscape look like? For Adom cars, they're from 3 to 12, just like the AFA Seekers. But if you're wanting to learn more and hear from Jeff himself, here's a quick little clip from a video that I did a year ago. But if you're just looking up, it's Join Adom Car Club, the ultimate online haven for car enthusiasts. Just type that in YouTube, check out my channel, and you can find it. But here is the clip. So Jeff, I'm noticing on some of these memberships, there's different backgrounds. Is that important? Or if somebody's looking at getting one of these, should they know, like, hey, these actually have something that's important to them? Or are they just kind of different stylistic effects for the NFT itself?
Yep, there are going to be some special things that you get based on the background that you have, based on the bot that you have, based on the fuel that your card takes, based on the technology that your card's made from. So there's all the little traits matter. It's important to have a membership or to be friends with someone who's got a membership,
And you can be friends with somebody who's got a membership. Okay, so are we friends? Hell yeah. All right, Muhammad Ali, the next legend boxers. So these are characters within the boxing game. I can bring this up right now to show you what it looks like. But just to go over, basically, it is a new game that is involving the Authentic Brands Group and Muhammad Ali. To showcase boxing in kind of a different way. Is AI gaming going to be a thing? Is it going to be not a thing? Have you played an AI game? Well, here's potentially your first look at it. Again, for those, while that's loading, I don't know if the boxers are on here. I feel like the boxers have some kind of a future score along with the bags that they come with, but these are going to be basically bodies for your brains, and you can accessorize them any way that you want. But obviously, there's a whole bunch of shapes and sizes for those different characters if you're wanting to have a certain look. This is what it looks like. I threw in a Gen 1 brain. I'm trying to find the worst brain possible, if you will. But you can go in here, see the leaderboard where somebody is 211, 12, and 3, which is nuts. If you hit play, you can train, where you'll need to have tickets if you're wanting to expand your training and get better. You can see how it's trying to get tickets here, but I don't have any in my wallet, so it'll say no, but you buy those tickets with, oh, I get some free training. I guess there's like a first training bill with that, which is cool. So I guess we'll start it. It shows that it's 20 minutes, but this is something where when we talk about like AI agents and things kind of working for you after you set it up, estimated 20 minutes, come back and see, and then we can put that fighter in a round a little bit later on. And look at this in a grumble, Gods and Goblins. Got number 2, got 30 junk. You need 100 junk to be able to mint a goblin. That gives you 0.5 future score. I think it's kind of neat. Now, final thing that I want to leave you with here after going over the basics, Futureverse founder speaking sessions on YouTube. This is the playlist that I made if you're wanting to go through a whole bunch of the co-founders' speaking sessions across the past year. Some really great gems, and I think this weekend's going to be interesting with South by Southwest. I will hope to be live for that, but if you enjoyed this video, again, be sure to subscribe and come by, see me during the live streams on the week and do a whole bunch of different times to try to match with whatever works with your guys' schedule. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this. Let's go Sunday. All right, we recorded all that. We forgot Seekers, son of a gun. A collection of Metaverse-ready 3D animated robots powering communication and trade across the open Metaverse. So if you come to Silo, it's a site that says Connection Reimagined. Of course, we have the funky graphics. Now assets and data work together. We got a party bear. We got a fluff. No matter where you are in the Metaverse. The Metaverse. Data about you, data about your network. Okay, let me just jump down to the roadmap. So this is kind of what it looks like for Silo, the launch of the Futureverse Asset Register, Seeker 2.0 update, reveal Seeker classes, deploy Seeker network. Okay, so what is all of this stuff? Well, Seekers are nodes for the Silo network, but it also sounds like the Seeker network is a thing, and the team has talked about making them fun and exciting. So when you go in, you will be able to see if you bridge your Seeker and do 2.0 that it's got some of these different tiers. Tier 2 Finder, Tier 1 Cartographer, Defender, and it all depends on your power, how much Silo you can stake to. Currently, the way that they have it set up is, oh, I'm getting logged out because of that. Okay, dude. But the way they have it set it up is the rewards are starting soon, and yeah, you just have to stake Silo if you have a Seeker, and these are supposed to do more. So it's exciting to see, but the ecosystem is massive.